Okay, so you guys should all pretty much be at this level. If you have some walls or something drawn on here, that's okay. We're not going to worry about those things too much. We'll end up deleting those anyways. Kind of back just really, really quickly. I know I went back yesterday and did this, but if I look at the elevation, you guys should still have your 4 different level cuts: lower level, entry, upper, and roof. If you don't really have these correctly, look back at the first video. It'll help you get those where they need to be. And just remember, keep reminding yourself that you're building one model, and you're simply just looking at your model via these different views. So I want you to always remember that these are simply just views or cuts, or cross sections, or detail views, or magnify, whatever you want to call them. Just remember, they're looking at geometry that you've actually modeled. Again, the repeat, minimize this ceiling plan, collapsible, whatever you want to call it. Minimize that so you don't accidentally click on one of those. And I'm going to go ahead and head back to my entry level, and I'm going to re-step through 2 walls that we're going to create. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to simply hit the wall button, and that's going to provide me the properties palette with the wall properties. Now, mine from yesterday did save, so if yours did not save, I'm going to go back to the generic 8-inch, which is where I think some of you guys might be. If you're not there and you're on the MicorLiving wall, that's fine. I'm just going to repeat how to do this. So if I'm on the walls button, I have this basic wall generic 8 selected. I should have this button here that says edit type. Is everybody good with that? You have that now? Yeah, so I'm going to hit the architecture tab. I'm going to hit the wall button. And then right below that, in this properties palette, I should have this little section here that says basic wall generic 8. Right here. So yep, so you click that. And then do you have this? No? Okay. You guys, give me one quick second. I want to make sure that we got this. Go over to user, go to view, I lied. Go to user interface, turn on properties. Now you have that. You don't have that? Look at that. It's there. All right, sorry about that, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and I have this basic wall generic 8. I'm going to hit this edit type. There's a button here that I got to click. Otherwise, I'm going to destroy my generic 8-inch wall type. Who can tell me what button I got to click? Duplicate. I'm going to click in duplicate. And here we go. We're going to name this MicorLiving dash exterior wall. And I'm going to put a 2 on mine. You guys should not put a 2. Just I already have one. So we're going to do that. I'm going to hit OK. And then this right here, it's a very, very skinny linear button that says edit. That's the button we're looking for to actually modify this wall type. So let's go ahead and click that button. Hold on, let me go back. Right here. It's a very long, skinny button. All right, so this is our edit assembly palette. And so this palette allows us to build the wall type. Yesterday I put one in there that had brick and sheathing and house wrap and all that jazz, and then I hit the wrong button and canceled it out. So I showed you guys a fail, but you guys are going to make this one successfully. We are going to simply leave core boundary. We're going to simply leave structure, and we're going to simply leave core boundary. What we're going to change is the thickness. We're going to change this to 5.5 inches. Make sure you put your inch mark. Oh, I'm sorry. I lied. I'm doing that real. 6 inches. Sorry. Change it to 6 inches.
If we already had this from yesterday, like what do we do?
Yeah, you don't need to redo it. We're going to make a second one together in just a moment. So we'll be right on the interior walls in just a moment.
So do I delete this one? Because I made a duplicate.
It really doesn't matter. You can hit delete,
Okay.
you can hit cancel, you can name it MicorLiving Wall 2. It doesn't really make that big of a difference. If you want to do it just for fun, that's fine. Okay. Um, Elijah, it's probably because it's highlighted, to be honest with you. You can't edit it. All you need to edit is this here. If not, I'll get you one-on-one and get that straight. All right, so we got 6 inches. We're going to hit OK. Really shouldn't have changed much. The thing that you should just verify that you got right is if you look at like the 4th line here, it says width. You should see it say 6 inches, 0 feet, 6 inches. If you have anything different than that, you got to hit the edit button, go back in here and modify it again. If it says 6 inches here, you're good to go. Now, while we're here, we're going to go ahead and create our interior wall. So we're going to say duplicate again. This time here, we're going to actually say interior. And I basically have it saying MicorLiving space dash space or space hyphen space interior. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And now I've got to hit edit one more time. And I'm going to change my wall thickness to 4 inches. And then we're going to go ahead and hit OK on that. So we have 2 different walls. We have an exterior. And again, to double check and verify that we did everything correctly, you'll see width is set to 4 inches right here at the 4th line. This should say type MicorLiving interior at the top. And then we are going to hit OK. We need any walls? Nope, you can get rid of everything that you have on your screen. So you really should have, we've done a lot of learning, but we haven't really created any sort of geometry yet. So we can pretty much have everything deleted. So anybody that needs me to go through this one more quick time, again, you hit the wall button, you get this, you have the one that says basic, generic, 8-inch, edit type. You double click on them in the elevations. So hold on, I'll get to that in a moment. I'm going to hit duplicate, and then this would be MicorLiving dash exterior. Hit OK. Hit edit. Change this to 6 inches. Hit OK. Hit duplicate again. This one's going to be interior. Hit edit again. Change this one to 4 inches, and you should have your wall type. All right. So I'm going to go ahead now. Here is one of the things that you got to get used to. Okay, I have a few extra ones that you guys don't have. But I'm getting ready to start drawing my walls. So I'm going to select my wall button. And then I've got to come into this properties palette, and I got to find the wall that I want to utilize when I'm drawing. So I'm going to go ahead and click on exterior wall. A couple things I need to verify. Number one, I need to verify that I'm on the entry level. So we make sure that that one is bolded. If that one's not bolded, just double click on it. It'll get you there. Click back on wall. You should still have your MicorLiving exterior wall. 2 more settings I got to do. One, I got to set it to connect to the roof. So I'm going to go ahead and say, where do I want the upper constraint to be connected to? I want it to connect to the roof. Where do I want my location line? I want it to be the finished face exterior, which happens to be the same as core face exterior in our example. Either one of these will do the exact same thing, either finish face or core face. So just for this, I'm going to use core face. Now, we're finally ready to draw our 30-foot walls, our 30-foot cube. And once we draw it, we have it. We're not going to change it again. It's actually the one that we're going to utilize. So I'm going to simply drag this thing over. Again, you can, if you feel comfortable, just drag your mouse until it says 30 feet. I simply just think it's easier to type in 30, drag my mouse down, type in 30, drag over, type in 30, drag up, type in 30, and then hit the escape key on my keyboard to exit that command. All right, so I'm going to pause there. I'm sorry, Grace, the wall tab disappeared. Whole little box thing. So guys, if you lose this, let me show you what happens here. So if I accidentally close this, and say I close this, and I'm like, oh, I can't do anything in Revit because I don't have my properties palette or my project browser. You go up to this tab that says View. You go all the way over to the right-hand side where it says User Interface. I can click on Project. I can click Project Browser, and I can also click on Properties, and that'll bring both of my they're called palettes. I'll bring both of these palettes back up where I can utilize them again. And I'm going to try to bring them back up. Sure. What's that? Oh, okay. I'll show you how to modify that. So user interface, turn project, browser back on, turn properties back on. So mine are separated because I moved them. So if you grab them at the top, you get like this window, and you can actually make it to where it floats or docks, right? If I bring it over here, you'll see that it wants to snap in different places. So like right there, it's going to snap to the right. If I move it down bottom, it's actually going to want to be stacked kind of like what yours is. So you just kind of got to grab the top of it and drag it where you want it to go. I typically have mine stacked, but because I'm working on the projector, I like to have it so it's spread out for you guys. Let me see here. I got stuff in the chat here. You don't see the MicorLiving walls. You definitely created them both and hit OK. Okay. I'll get you there. Give me a few minutes. We'll get you straight. Let's see here. Oh, what's the height? So I have this connected to roof. Oh, man. Boy, did I mess something up. I told you all to be on entry level. I meant to say lower level. It's okay. We'll fix it. Yes, ma'am. Okay, come back. Come back. I'll get you. I promise. All right. You really messed up? You think you broke it? You broke it. All right, guys. So let me tell you what I did and show you what happened. And I wasn't really paying that much attention. You can see here, if I look at this thing in 3D, I actually created this from the entry level, which is what I told every one of you to click on. So if you listen to me, we all did it wrong. We were supposed to do it on the lower level. So we're going to fix it. It's okay. This is a good mistake to have because this is going to teach you guys how to fix it. I'm going to quite simply look at this thing in 3D and check out what I do here. I'm just going to, hold on. I'm going to grab my modify button, which is the little arrow up here. And I'm going to simply just grab these 4 walls. I only have the 4 walls that I drew, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look over here in the properties palette. You'll see here where it says location line, finish face exterior. That's what you guys should have set. More importantly, you'll see this thing that says base constraint. Right now it's set to entry level. I can simply click on that and actually say, I meant it to be lower level. Let me apply that. You'll see here that it actually updated my cube for me automatically. Let me step through that one more time because I made you all mess up, so I'll take responsibility for that. Here we go. We're going to grab all 4 of our walls. So the little doghouse at the very, very top is the 3D view. There's a little teeny doghouse. I call it a doghouse. It looks like a doghouse to me, so I call it a doghouse. All right, so grab your modify button, highlight your 4 walls. In your property palette, there's a little button here that says, or there's a line item that says base constraint. I actually want you to change that to lower level and hit apply. And you'll see that your house is going to grow just a little teeny bit. It'll grow by exactly 10 feet. And if you look at it in 3D, you'll see that it looks like a cube. All right.
Where are you getting the constraints thing from? Like, it's not on my screen.
Did you highlight the walls?
Yeah.
Do you have your properties palette pulled up like this?
Yeah, there's just no like constraints thing.
At the very, very top of the list, you don't see constraints?
Mm-mm. Like it has the properties like basic wall, that kind of thing, and then there's walls, and then next to the edit type, and then structural, and then like a few things are grayed out.
You don't see anything that says constraints. What's it say selected? 4 walls? See right here where mine says 4 walls?
Yeah.
It still says 4 walls?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see your screen real quick.
Okay, hold on.
I wish there was a way for me to pause the recording, but I can only stop it. If I stop it, it makes a file, then I got to make a new file. So the YouTube videos are a little junky because I have a lot of this time in it. So I wish there was a pause button on my program, but there's not.
I feel like something's maybe wrong with the way I highlighted it.
Uh-oh. You broke
Can you see anything?
Nope. There,
okay.
Now I can.
There.
Okay.
See, it's like highlighted differently, and then I have this thing.
Oh, you're gonna laugh. Move your mouse over and move your mouse to the left and scroll up. Like use your wheel to roll up. Yay.
Oh, okay.
I told you were gonna laugh. All right, yeah, no worries.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I've never done that before. Never, not once. Do it all the time. It happens. You just kind of get rolling with the mouse sometimes, and things get off the screen. So you definitely don't have it. So give me 1 second. Let me come over here real quick. Perfect. So, all right, you're still broken. I shot broken. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Let's turn off the property palette again. This looks small. Turn it off. Pick up the view. Go over to user. Turn back on properties. How did you do? No, I don't know. I was trying to. Oh, you. Drag that little box to the left. Like grab right there. Move it to the left. Snap it. You'll see a little blue box. Oh. Well, that ain't good, but that'll work. Do that. Save it, close Revit, reopen Revit. Cross your fingers and hopefully contact. If not, I'll get you there. Sorry, guys. Somebody broke your computer. I won't name any names, but I'll say her name rhymes with Aisha. All right, so here we go.
Mr. Walker.
Yes, sir.
Can you go over real quick how to like when you were talking about like the roof? I didn't get that part where we're like I'm not where you are right now. I'm like the part before. I don't know how to get to there. Is my question.
So you're talking about like you're so a little lost on getting all of these put in?
No, so I have all of those. I just when you went to like go to the properties tab and put in like the measurements from like the ceiling or whatever, or like how tall to make the walls or whatnot.
I got you. Okay. Let me just step through making the walls again real quick, just drawing the walls, not making them. So I'm going to click on the wall button here. I am going to grab the little, you click on like icon essentially, and I'm going to make sure that I can scroll around and find the one that says MicorLiving exterior wall. Now, here is where I think, Nick, this is where you missed, right? So, and again, I did this on the wrong level intentionally this time because I made you guys do it this way the last time. So I'm doing this on the entry level, right? So it says height. Where do I want the top to be? I want the top
mine
to
doesn't
be.
say that. Am I supposed to mine doesn't say like the whole like modify like height and roof, like the roof.
Yours doesn't say that. Yours doesn't it? All right, Nick, share your screen real quick.
All right.
All right, guys, we're tech support and
So like I have the here, I'll share, but like I have the one wall that we did where we did like the different like thicknesses. I have that, but then it doesn't say like all the
That's all right. Let me look at it and see what you got.
do you see my screen?
I can.
Or it can or can't?
I can. Yes, I can.
Okay.
Okay, so go into architecture. Go into walls. So right there, see. So now you're in the section where you're drawing the walls.
Mhm.
That's when that'll show up. It won't show up as a modify.
Okay.
Okay, so let me step through. Let me explain what just happened because I think all you guys maybe seen Nick's screen there. Revit has different modes. Okay, so if I have a wall, I'm basically going to be in a position where I need to just modify it, right? It's already pre-existing. We're only going to be able to modify existing properties. When I am in the create mode, which is what happens when I click on the wall button, you'll see that this horizontal bar should show up. Does that help, Grace? Does show? Okay. So this is the spot where you're going to say connected to roof. And then you're going to change your location line. And location line is what you're dimensioning to as you draw it. Okay, so we're using the exterior finish face or finish face exterior. And again, I'm going to go ahead and just draw this square. So I'm going to come over. I'm going to say 30 feet. Drag it down 30 feet. Drag it over 30 feet. Drag it up 30 feet. And I've got my 30-foot, what I thought was going to be a cube. But since I did it on the wrong layer, it's not going to be a cube, obviously. And we're going to need to modify it. So this is a good thing for you guys to learn, to be honest with you, right? So I look at this thing in 3D and I went, oh, man, I didn't do it to the right height. It was supposed to be blah, 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 right? So this is where we got into this modify thing. All I'm going to do is grab my modify tool, which happens to be MD on your keyboard if you care about the keyboard. Select your walls, and then in this property location, you're going to see the base constraint. And we're going to set this, instead of being on the entry level, we're going to set it to the lower level and then hit apply. You're going to see that this thing pops up and populates. Now it's at the right height. It should look like a cube now. It should fill all three of your floors. If you really want to double check it, click on your east elevation. It should just simply look like it goes from 0 all the way up to the roof height, and then you'll know that you got what we need. Okay? 3D view is this little doghouse at the very, very top. At the very, very, very top. I need a mouse highlighter is what I need. I need like a little circle around my mouse or make it bright yellow or something. Okay, so sorry, Grace, I keep missing your chats. The chats are hard for me to follow, so just yell at me if you guys need me. All right, so do me a favor. Give me a high five if you got this. Stop working? Still broken? All right, I'll get you straight before you roll, okay? If it looks like this, you should be all right. If it looks like this, we're just doing the eye test for now. And then you guys can go back and get it later if you need to. All right. Looks like most of you guys got it according to the hands that went up and down. So let's go ahead and talk about our next two steps, which is going to be generating the floors. Okay, we're going to just generate 3 floor sections, and then we're going to generate a roof. So I'm going to go down to the lower level this time instead of guys, can I tell you why I messed that up, to be quite honest with you? Normally these are in order from lowest level to highest level. Because these are alphabetically sorted, entry level is above lower level. So I will tell you guys what I typically do. I didn't have you guys do this. What I typically do when I do this, I actually number these. And I put a 0 out front. and then I hit enter and says yes. Then I come to entry level and I will put a 1. And yes, I'll rename the corresponding views. I'll put 2. You guys can see where I'm going with this. And then I'll put a 3. And at the very, very end of the project, I typically go back and remove those numbers. What it does in my project browser is it sorts them based from lowest to highest. Does that make sense? So by adding those numbers, it sorts them alphanumerically in this box. It helps me mentally. I always put the lowest level at the top. It's just the way that I work. It's my workflow. Y'all can follow suit. You cannot. It's up to you. So here we go. I'm going to go to lower level. That's where everybody should be, is on lower level at this point. You should see a floor plan that looks just like this. We are going to do this so simply. This is going to be fairly easy to do. We're going to go ahead and click on the architecture tab. I'm going to give you guys a really good guess. What button do you think we're going to click on to put in a floor? Floor. Seems pretty simple, right? Now, we have something that we must absolutely do, because we're gonna mess this up really, really badly if we don't do it. We're actually gonna go into where it says floor, and right now it says floor generic 6. Anybody take a stab at what we're gonna do next? Because we actually need to make a floor that's only 6 inches thick. So what do we think we're gonna do here? What's that? We're gonna hit edit type. And then, Maureen, what are we gonna do next? Duplicate. Oh, it will. Hold on. Let me go back. Make sure you got it right, because I got to get you on the right step. You're going to come up to the architecture tab. You're going to hit the floor button. Over here, it doesn't say nothing. Doesn't say anything here. What's it say? Oh, is there a, okay, so what I think happened, Maureen, I got you. Ready? So Maureen's saying she's here and there's no buttons here, right? That's what you're saying? Everything's kind of grayed out. Okay. Guys, bear with me at home for 1 second. Let me correct 2 quick things. Right? Because like normally it's a lot more fluid than that. I got a picture. Oh wow. It's screen saver if you need more room. I still have like you will. Yep, you'll do that in the elevation view. Yep. Broke it again. Quit breaking it. Just stop touching it. No, just like that's where you're getting it. Under architecture, right there. Oh. You got it. Let me get you straight here. You know. I know. I don't know what it is. You broke it. That's what you did. I thought it was. Anyways. We're in a conversation on that. If you would. If you want. We're not going there. What is your okay, we only lost 2 days, and one of them was that many. If you guys haven't noticed, I am a bit of a trash talker. I like to keep things light in the classroom. Otherwise, classes are boring. No. And so our favorite teacher. The school's in the woods. Our school's in the woods? My school is not in the woods. Imagine only having 2 floors. Which school's that? Hey. I went to Howard, so I don't care nothing. All right, I shot. If you break it again, -10. -10. All right, guys. Sorry, it took me a while.
Mr. Walker, the same thing happened to me.
What happened to you?
The gray buttons, like I can't click floor.
But it's gray.
It's like all blurred out.
Okay, so I got you. I can fix that. So over on the far right-hand side, you have a tab up there that's a little bit of a different color. It's probably a light blue.
Uh-huh.
Click on that one, and there's a red X. Click on the red X, and then all of your buttons should come back.
All right, yeah, I got it.
Okay. All right, guys. So here we go. We are all at a point where we're going to make a floor. Nobody's going to break their computers again. We're going to hit the floor button. Somebody told me, Grace told me I got to hit edit type. Maureen told me I got to hit duplicate. Somebody's going to tell me, what do we think logically we're going to type into this for a floor name?
Lower level floor?
MicorLiving.
Sorry.
Space. No, you got it. Dash. And then you said lower level floor. I'm good with that. Because the other floors, believe it or not, are going to be 12 inches thick. This is the only one that we're going to make 6 inches thick. Okay? And there's a reason why. Okay? So we're going to hit OK on this lower level floor. Somebody at home tell me what am I going to click on next? Because I got to make this thing, because right now it's a foot thick. I got to make it 6 inches thick. Does somebody tell me what I got to click on to make it 6 inches thick?
The skinny edit button, and then you go into, yeah.
There we go. Arama skinny edit button. Perfect. We're going to highlight this one that says structure. We're going to change the thickness to 6 inches thick. We're going to hit OK. We're going to hit OK. We're not going to create the other floor right this second. We're just not going to name it. Now, Revit is so complex. It's pretty much the hardest program you're ever going to learn. We need to draw a floor inside of this floor. So you ready? By default, this little button here is selected, which says pick walls. This is how hard it is to do. I'm going to click here, click here, click here, click here, and then I'm going to hit the check mark. So hard, right? I knew you guys would feel like overwhelmed by that. You're going to literally click the 4 outside walls, and you'll see a pink line show up, and then you're going to hit the check mark. You don't like it? You don't like the sarcasm? Oh, okay. All right.
Is it supposed to look different? Like mine isn't blue. Oh.
I was just clicked on it.
So is it clear unless we're clicking on it?
Yeah, unless it's highlighted. If you want, here's how you're going to check it to make sure you did it right. Look at it in 3D and zoom way down bottom. If you see a double line, you did it perfectly.
Okay.
If you see no double line, you did not do it correctly. All right, let me go back. I'm going to redo it, okay, guys? Just so everybody's on the same page. So I'm going to go to lower level. That's my first thing, is make sure that I'm on lower level. I'm going to go to floor. I'm going to do the whole thing, even though I don't need to. Edit type. Duplicate. I'm going to change the name to boom, and I'm going to hit OK. I know. I said OK, though, because I already have mine, so I can't do it again. I'm going to hit the skinny edit button. We're going to call that the skinny edit button so you guys know what it is, all right? Because we use the skinny edit button all the time. Skinny edit, we're going to change the thickness from 1 foot to 6 inches. We're going to, no, I'm redoing the lower level, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and hit apply, okay, whatever. And then by default, this little button is selected that says pick walls. And quite simply, Do I have to do this in clockwise motion? I do not have to do this one clockwise. You get muscle memory and you train yourself, like everything else needs to be done clockwise. Just keep doing things clockwise and make it make sense. So I'm going to click here, click here, click here, click here. You're going to see like a little like magenta, pinkish, purplish box going around it. Go ahead and hit the little check mark. It says I'm done. I've created my floor. I'm going to look at it in 3D. I'm going to zoom down bottom. You're going to see I have a little double line at the bottom. I know I've created my floor. Now, I'm going to show you guys a little trick here because everything's black and white so far, and it's kind of hard to see everything because you don't really know. I don't really know if I have a floor here. So right here, there's a little button at the very, very bottom. It's called it looks like a little 3D box. Hold on a second. Elijah, I'll get right to you. Hold on. You click on that little 3D box. It's like the second button in. Hit the one that says shaded. Your house will actually start to have like a little bit of texture to it if you want to see what it looks like. Yeah, so right down here on the very, very bottom bar, this is called your view status bar. There's a little 3D cube, and if you click on it, third, fourth option down says shaded. And then that'll give you this kind of 3D shaded, like lame Sims view. And that should get you pretty, it should kind of get it cleared up. Elijah, what happened was you had something open. So this is what you did. Somehow you did this and everything's grayed out, right? If you look all the way over here on the right-hand side, there's one that says create. Click on that, hit the red X, and then everything will come back to your, everything will come back here. I accidentally closed my edit window. When you say edit window,
well, I never had the project browser thing in the first place, but the one on the very left, like I don't know how to get either of those.
Okay, so that's where you go to the view tab, all the way on the right-hand side, user interface, project browser, and properties will get you back up.
Mr. Walker.
Yes. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Mr. Walker.
Hold on one second, Nick. Just hit the save button at the top, the little diskette button. And if when you go to close everything, it doesn't say, hey, you didn't save, it was saved. If it says, hey, you didn't save, you need to save it. Okay, all right. Guys at home, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. And then we're going to stop with this one floor for today. And then we'll add the other 2 floors on Monday. And we'll talk about how we're going to continue to kind of crank through with this project. We're going to do things like 3 times, believe it or not, like the way that I have this thing mapped out. And I will tell you guys, you are the first class that I've ever ran this project in Revit. The reason why is because normally I do it in AutoCAD, but AutoCAD runs so poorly on the virtual machines that I switched everything to Revit to make life a little bit easier. However, the hard part is now I got to teach you guys how to use Revit a year early. So, which is good. What you got, kiddo?
So I click save. Something keeps popping up.
Do you click save? You've specified a backup file. Do you want to save? Yes.
Please don't leave me. Don't leave me. Well, I thought we meet again. When is that, Thursday?
All you fancy students in 2 floors.
They're so good and they're telling me like half of our school on the first floor.
All right, so guys, I am going to, just so everybody knows, I'm going to post up in between classes. I'm going to post up an assignment. It's due and it will lock on Sunday at midnight. So you have to post it before then. And it'll be a little tough fourth quarter, okay? So I won't go back and re-unlock it, so make sure you post it. It's literally going to be a progress post of what we've done this week with Revit. So if you need to, go back and kind of rewatch the videos a little bit. I'm recording everything, so screenshot or like camera pictures, like it's cool. I don't need the Revit file. Just take pictures of what you've done.
Okay. You saved it, right?
I did.
Okay.
Of course I did. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you. See you guys. All right, home guys. So, virtual guys. All right, so we're gonna let me stop this video real quick.
Mr. Walker,